What if I told you that most of your life decisions are not actually made by you? The habits you repeat, the fears you feel, the people you attract, and even the success you struggle to reach are silently being controlled by something deep inside you, something you rarely notice, something called your subconscious mind. Right now, as you're watching this video, your subconscious is already shaping your thoughts, filtering your reality, and quietly deciding what you believe is possible for your life. And the scary part? Most people live their entire lives without ever realizing they are being programmed. But today, that changes. Because in this video, you're about to discover how your subconscious mind is secretly controlling your life, and how you can finally take your power back. Chapter 1. The Invisible Driver. A few years ago, there was a young man named Daniel. From the outside, his life looked completely normal. He had dreams, he had goals, he had plans to become successful. But every single time he tried to move forward, something strange kept happening. He would start strong, feel motivated for a few days, and then suddenly, he would procrastinate. He would doubt himself. He would lose focus. And slowly, he would fall back into the same old habits, again and again and again. Daniel thought he was just lazy. Maybe he just didn't have enough discipline. Maybe success wasn't meant for him. Maybe something was wrong with him. But the truth was far more dangerous. There was nothing wrong with Daniel's effort. The real problem was hidden, deep inside his subconscious mind. You see, your conscious mind, the part that is listening to me right now, is only responsible for about 5% of your daily behavior. But the remaining 95% is controlled by your subconscious programming. Your habits, your emotional reactions, your comfort zone, your self-image. All of it running silently in the background, just like an invisible driver steering the direction of your life while you sit in the passenger seat thinking you are in control. And this is exactly what was happening with Daniel. Every time he tried to change his life, his subconscious pulled him back to what felt familiar. Because the subconscious mind has one primary job: to keep you safe, not to make you successful. Let that sink in. Your subconscious does not care about your big dreams. It does not care about your goals. It only cares about one thing: familiar patterns, even if those patterns are slowly destroying your future. And if you don't understand this, you will keep fighting yourself for the rest of your life. But here's the real question: who programmed your subconscious in the first place? Because once you understand that, you can finally start changing everything. Chapter 2. Who programmed your mind? Daniel always believed that his thoughts were his own, that his fears, his habits, his limits were simply part of who he was. But one evening, while sitting alone in his room, he came across a simple psychological question that changed everything. The question was, what if your mind was programmed before you were even aware of it? And suddenly, things started to make sense. You see, your subconscious mind does not get programmed overnight. It starts very early. Between the ages of 0 to 7 years, your brain operates mostly in a theta state, a highly absorbent hypnotic state. In this phase, you are not really thinking. You are recording. Recording your parents' words, recording emotional experiences, recording how people treat you, recording what the world feels like. If you were constantly criticized, your subconscious recorded, "I am not good enough." If love felt inconsistent, your subconscious recorded, "Love is unsafe." If you saw struggle around money, your subconscious recorded, "Money is hard to earn." And the most dangerous part? You didn't choose any of it. It was installed automatically, like hidden software running quietly in the background of your life. This is exactly what Daniel began to realize. Every time he tried to move forward, an invisible belief inside him whispered, "Don't try too hard. You might fail. You're not that type of person." And without realizing it, he obeyed. Listen carefully. Your subconscious mind does not respond to what you want. It responds to what you have been conditioned to believe is true. Let that hit, because this is why some people sabotage opportunities. Some people stay in toxic relationships. Some people never reach their potential. Not because they are weak, but because they are programmed. And the moment Daniel understood this, he stopped blaming his motivation. He stopped blaming his discipline. For the first time, he asked the question that changes everything. If my mind was programmed, can it be reprogrammed? And the answer to that question is what separates people who stay stuck from those who completely transform their lives. Chapter 3. How your subconscious controls your daily life. Daniel thought that his subconscious only affected his big life decisions, but he was wrong. Because the subconscious mind doesn't just control the big moments. It controls your everyday life, quietly, automatically, relentlessly. Think about this. Have you ever picked up your phone without even realizing why? Delayed an important task even when you knew it mattered? Stayed in a situation that you knew wasn't good for you? That's not just lack of discipline. That is subconscious automation. Your subconscious mind loves patterns. Anything repeated enough times becomes a program. And once something becomes a program, you stop choosing it consciously. You start defaulting to it. Just like Daniel, every morning he promised himself, "Today I will be productive." But by afternoon, he was scrolling, distracted, mentally tired. And every night, he felt the same frustration. Why do I keep doing this to myself? Here is the uncomfortable truth. Your subconscious mind always chooses checkmark what feels familiar over what is actually better for your future. Let that sink in, because this explains why comfort zones feel so powerful, why bad habits feel automatic, why change feels uncomfortable. Your subconscious is not asking, "Is this good for my future?" It is asking, "Is this familiar to me?" And if the answer is yes, it pulls you back. Every single time. This is why some people keep attracting the same type of partner. Some people keep repeating the same mistakes. Some people keep starting strong and quitting halfway. Not because they lack potential, but because their subconscious identity is still stuck in the past. Daniel finally saw it clearly. His biggest enemy was not outside him. It was the invisible programming running inside his own mind. And in that moment, he made a decision. Not to work harder, not to force more motivation, but to do something far more powerful, to reprogram the source. But here's where most people make a fatal mistake. They try to change their life.
Chapter 4. The biggest mistake people make while trying to change. Daniel was tired. Tired of starting over. Tired of breaking promises to himself. Tired of feeling stuck in the same life loop. So one day, he decided, this time, I will change my life. Pause. He downloaded productivity apps, watched motivational videos, made strict routines. For a few days, everything felt different. He woke up early, worked with focus, felt in control. But then, slowly, quietly, Predictably, he slipped back. Again, if this feels familiar to you, listen very carefully, because this is where most people unknowingly destroy their own progress. They try to change their behavior without changing their subconscious identity. Let that hit. You can force discipline for a few days. You can push motivation for a few weeks. But if your subconscious still believes, I am lazy, I am not consistent, I always fail, then sooner or later, your behavior will return to match your identity. Because your subconscious has one powerful rule: your life will always move in the direction of your strongest self-belief. Deep pause. This is why temporary motivation never lasts. This is why New Year resolutions fail. This is why people feel excited at the beginning and exhausted in the middle. Daniel finally understood something most people never realize. You don't rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your subconscious programming. And the moment he accepted this truth, his entire strategy changed. He stopped fighting his habits on the surface. Instead, he went deeper, much deeper, to the place where real change actually begins, the subconscious. But now the real question is, how do you actually reprogram your subconscious mind? Because willpower alone will never be enough. Chapter 5. The 3-Step Subconscious Reprogramming Method, 1500 to 2100. Voice: calm, confident, reassuring. Daniel finally understood. If he wanted to change his life, he couldn't just fight his habits. He had to reprogram the source. Because once the subconscious changes, behavior follows automatically. Pause. After months of research and trial, Daniel discovered a simple but powerful 3-step method to influence the subconscious mind. And if you apply this correctly, your mind will slowly start working for you instead of against you. Let's begin.